policy is undermining our interests, undermining Israeli security, and undermining our own We're sending the message that it is better to be a belligerent menace like Iran or Syria than a loyal, cooperative ally like Israel. The message is sent, and Israel's enemies got that message. Israel is the stabilizing force in an unstable region of critical importance to the United States, and a strong Israel means that Americans sleep more soundly, sleep safer each and every night, thanks to Israel. Many people say it's the other way around. We thank Israel for keeping us strong. She needs to protect herself from conventional and existential threats. We've also got to provide her with the full political and diplomatic backing of the United States instead of demanding further concessions. A resolution that I hope will help me pass, House Resolution 260, a bipartisan measure recognizing the 62nd anniversary of Israel's independence, but more importantly, references congressional support for Jerusalem's status as Israel's undivided capital and supports Israel's right to exist as a democratic free state. From Arizona referenced a wonderful letter that Holocaust survivor and Nobel Peace Prize winner Elie Wiesel published just a few days ago in the Wall Street Journal and the Washington Post. And I'm going to quote Elie. He says, quote, "Jerusalem is above politics. It is what binds one Jew to another in a way that remains hard to explain. Today, for the first time in history, Jews, Christians, and Muslims all may freely worship at their shrines. And contrary to published media reports, Jews, Christians, and Muslims are allowed to build their homes anywhere in the city. The anguish over Jerusalem," Mr. Wiesel continued, "is not about real estate, but about memory," end quote. So what is the solution, ladies and gentlemen? Certainly not more pressure on our friend and our ally Israel, while not holding others accountable for their acts. What is the United States doing? We're continuing to reward the intransigence of the Palestinians with another $500 million in U.S. taxpayer dollars, no strings attached, even though a former Palestinian official has alleged that Palestinian officials have stolen hundreds of millions of dollars in foreign aid throughout the years. Instead, we've got to cut off that economic lifeline to Ramallah and to Gaza, demand accountability from the PA for our tax dollars, and insist that they crack down on incitement. Similarly, with UNRWA, you know about this organization. There was a homicide bomber who killed 7 Americans at a base in Afghanistan just a few weeks ago. He was previously on the payroll of UNRWA. He had significant radical Islamic ties. UNRWA also continues to agitate against Israel. It refuses to screen its employees to see if they are extremists and jihadist militants in its payroll. Yet, the administration recently announced another $95 million for UNRWA after we gave it a record $268 million last year. So, along with 84 of my members, of my colleagues in Congress, we recently wrote to the President urging him to freeze funding for UNRWA until the UNRWA Humanitarian Accountability Act, which would require the administration to cut off UNRWA, and I hope that you can lobby on this bill. Now, turning this passage on Iran, the Times reports reported yesterday that according to the Pentagon, Iran may be able to build this missile capable of striking the U.S., as you know, by 2015. We can't wait for consensus on yet another watered-down resolution from the UN Security Council until we pass. And that's why I hope that with your help, we can insist on a congressional bill on sanctions in Iran to hit them where it hurts, without a waiver, without a carve-out for countries, and with making sure that we can pass it in the strongest possible way, in a House version, not the watered-down Senate version. But it's up to you to make this happen. And when you say sanctions to Iran, you know that Syria is following right behind, because they've seen that Iran is getting away with it. So they continue to sponsor Hezbollah, they continue to sponsor Hamas, and what did we do? We nominated an ambassador to Syria, the first time in 5 years, because they have done so many good things. Well, Assad hosted a summit in Damascus with Iran's Ahmadinejad and the head of Hezbollah, where they mocked U.S. policy in the very week that we nominated this ambassador, mocked U.S. policy in the region, and once again called for the destruction of Israel. And now reports, as you saw, that Syria is providing Hezbollah with Scud missiles that can hit Jerusalem, that can hit Tel Aviv. So in order to address this threat, I've got a bill to tighten the noose on Syria, and I hope that you can help me in the same way that you helped me to pass my resolution condemning the Goldstone report. Thank you. Thank you. Iran and Libya may soon be elected to join the Council's road gallery. I'm talking about the UN Human Rights Council. Well, you already have Iran, Syria, Cuba there. Why not have it with, you already have so many other countries there. Why not have Iran? Why not have Libya once again? So they've got an election coming up in the UN Human Rights Council, and there they are going up for membership. What did the Human Rights Council do this year? They were very busy. 5 resolutions condemning Israel. No other human rights abuses occurred in this year throughout the world. Thank goodness our tax dollars are going to this wonderful UN Human Rights Council. Let's